Okay, so I should have done this a long time ago. In fact, I should have been done with this book a long time ago. Uh, I'm only finishing it now because I feel like if I don't finish it like today, like right now, I feel like I'm genuinely going to crash out. It's not just that, there's other things that are going on in my life right now, but like, this is like, okay, wait, hold on. Before I stream, let me react first. Okay, I can't see anything now. What's happening? Front camera only. Yeah. Before I crash out, let me do this. Before I crash out, let me do this. I'm gonna go through what I think about Genesis so far, off memory, right? Because I haven't really been taking notes. I feel like that's what I should be doing. Really, like while I'm reading, I should be taking notes. I don't know why I haven't been doing that, but I guess somewhere along the line I'll end up doing that. So, you start from the beginning of Genesis. Fine, we have Adam and Eve, we have God creating everything within like 7 days, resting on the seventh day, and up for debate which day is the first day of the week. Up for debate. Y'all niggas ain't convincing me, man. People are saying Sunday is the first day of the week. It's Man, I need more proof, man. Come on. I need proof, gang. Okay, but anyway, okay, fine. 7 days, and then after the 7 days, then we go into a bit more detail on Adam, and then after we go into a bit more detail on Adam, we go in bit detail on Cain, right? Cain and Abel, and from there, I think there was a point where Cain had a kid or something like that. Uh, and then the kid also did like something similar to Cain, and then he had his own form of like, yo, if you niggas hurt this kid, then it's gonna be worse than what I would have done if anyone hurt Cain. I think it might not be Cain's kid, but there's someone in Genesis who had that type of mercy brought onto him, right? And then what else do I need to remember? Was Noah's Ark in Genesis? I think it was. It was in Genesis, wasn't it? Because there was a time where yeah, it was. But I feel like Genesis has so many stories, but I feel like they so like, okay, let's put the story in like 5 chapters, and then that's it. Let's move on. I feel like that's just too short. But like, I think along my reading of the Bible, I'll end up getting to that point. So I'm trying to process everything that's been happening in Genesis because, honestly speaking, like if I'm being completely honest, I feel like it's not the best introduction to the book, bro. Like Genesis is so, like I would have thought. In fact, you know what? Because I know better. I know that like living in Christ is like, bro, it is hard, gang. Like it's hard. It's hard, bro. No, let's stop the cap game. It is hard, bro. It's so much easier to live a secular life than it is to live in Christ, gang. 100%, I will say that. But what else am I gonna say? Oh, I lost my chain of thought. I was talking about the whole Cain and thingy. Then after that, they left the Garden of Eden, and then they started to multiply. And then my other point that just like messes with me with this whole thing, but it's also kind of like, what are you supposed to do, right? Is where people are like now getting into each other, as the Bible says, into, right, into each other, and then it's just like, bro, how you getting into your own sister, you know, how your own relative, this is like, how you doing that? And then there was one part in it's in Genesis. I just don't know who it is in Genesis. Is it, so I don't think it's Abraham. It's there's is it Noah? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who it was, but there's a part where this nigga's daughters gave this nigga wine, and this nigga couldn't really see what was happening, and the daughters slept with the dad, gang. It's like, What is that, gang? What is that? And it's just like, whole time God is watching all of this happen, bro. It's but like, okay, where I'm at right now, I'm at like the story of Joseph. I'm at the story of Joseph, and I feel like I'm very interested to like I feel very interested to see what's gonna happen to Joseph. I think he got sold off by his brothers and stuff like that. Okay, I better watch what I say about that, but I'm not gonna say anything. But yeah, but his brothers sold him off because I think he was favored by the dad, and then his brothers wanted to kill him, but one of the brothers sold him off to another, I don't know, country or whatever, and then yeah, so now I'm at that point where Joseph is like a slave, and then he's like not really a slave, and then I think he was supposed to sleep with the slave master's girl or something like that, and he didn't, and then he got sent to prison, and then what's happening now? Yeah, I think that's around where I'm at. But my whole feelings about like Genesis, bro. I will say that I will say that it really broadens my perspective of how much God can really be there for you. You hear? Who this? Mobius? Mobius Kungs. Yo, what up, bro? Yeah. Yeah, what up? What up? What up? What up? Hello, you have good English. I appreciate it, young homie. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. I wonder how you pronouncing my surname. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like you're someone I know, and I always tell people that, like, yo, it's not a bad thing. If I know you and you're on my YouTube channel, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel like I feel weird or something like that because I know you and you're on my YouTube. But I actually want to continue reading from chapter 40 because that's where I am in Genesis chapter 40 till 50. I'm going to read that and then finish it. Let me just hear what you say. You look like I show speeds that. Yo, chill, bro. Yo, chill. I'm not even that older than that nigga. That nigga's like, what, he's like 20 this year, right? I'm like 5 years older than that guy, bro. Why you guys acting like I'm a unk for real? I ain't even that old, gang. I ain't even that old. Okay, but anyway, my girl texted me, and if I wanna text this nigga back, but like, I'm streaming. I'm streaming. Yeah, that nigga said I look like I show speed's dad. Yo, that nigga ain't feeling me, bro. Lord, bro, you ain't no unk. I ain't, bro. That's the thing. I ain't. Yo, Mobius, bro, you're getting me out of track, but I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, back to what I was saying about Genesis. As a whole, how I feel about it, uh, there's a lot to take in, and like I was telling my girl that I feel like I won't understand everything off the first read, obviously, and that's not my point with all of this. But my point with all of this is to know a bit more than I do about the Bible. Yeah. I appreciate it, Morbius. You dig? Yeah. But my point with all of this, like, Bible series thing, is that I really hope whoever is watching this gains like a bit more knowledge. I don't know if it's knowledge or anything, but also something I have been going through, bro. You know, when I started this with Exodus, it started off like less serious, and the more like time passes, the more serious me reading the Bible gets. Hey man, that's all I'm gonna say for now. If anyone knows like walking the journey, bro, you'll know that it's like you'll put in a foot and then you'll just freaking end up drowning in that. But you won't drown because God is the water. But okay, anyway, yeah, I'm gonna continue reading. I'm gonna share my screen so you guys can read with me. I'm gonna open up a PDF for y'all to read. I might not see comments for obvious reasons, but yeah. Yo, shout out Mobius, by the way. You dig? Yeah, let's do. Where's that book? That book was open like right now, gang. Oh, here it is. Okay, page 40. Yo, can't I like scroll through chapters? Anyway, I guess I have to do it the long way around. Next time, I'll just have this open by the time I switch. By the time I share screen, I'll just have this open. Speaking of share screen, I want to check if you guys can see what I'm seeing, so I'm gonna do that now. Sorry. Okay, chapter 40. That's it, right? Okay, I want to see if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. So I'm gonna just check if everything is fine. Yo, my thumbnail looks crazy. Let's be honest. Just check if everything. My thumbnail looks crazy. Let's be honest. How do I no. Bro, what are you trying to do now, game? Okay, so what should I do? Should I read off of that? Or like, wait, let me... I'm gonna try to connect this and then see what happens. Let me try to connect this. I want to see what happens when I connect this. Can I move? Apparently I cannot. Okay, so what am I supposed to do? Because I think this is gonna be too tedious for me to do. You know what, bro? I'll figure it out. And I ain't trying to like bust my head trying to realize what I should be doing instead of just reading this thing. Okay. It came to pass after these things that the builder and the baker of the king of Egypt offered their lord. The king of Egypt and Pharaoh was angry with his two officers, the chief butler and the chief baker. So he put them in custody in the house of the captain of the guard in the prison, the place where Joseph was confined. And the captain of the guard charged Joseph with them, and he served them. So they were in custody for a while. Then the butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, who were confined in the prison, had a dream. Both of them, each man's dream in one night, and each man's dream with its own interpretation. And Joseph came into them in the morning, and looked at them, and saw they were sad. So he asked Pharaoh. Wait, let me switch this off. So he asked Pharaoh's officers who were with him in the custody of his lord's house, saying, "Why do you look so sad today?" Pharaoh's hand. Okay. "Why do you look so sad today?" And they said to him, "We each have had a dream, and there is no interpretation of it." So Joseph said to them, "Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell them to me, please." Then the chief butler told his dream to Joseph, and he said to him, "Behold, in my dream a vine was before me, and in the vine were 3 branches. It was as though it budded, its blossoms shot forth, and its clusters brought forth ripe grapes. Then Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand." Okay, I remember reading this, but I'm just going to continue on my head. Pharaoh's hand. And Joseph said to him, "This is the interpretation of it. The 3 branches are 3 days. Now, within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head and restore you to your place, and you will put Pharaoh's cup in his hand according to the former manner when you were his butler. But remember me when it is well with you, and please show kindness to me. Make meaning of me to Pharaoh, and get me out of this house. For indeed I was stolen away from the land of Hebrews, and also I have done nothing here that they should put me into the dungeons. When the chief baker, chef baker, is it chef or chief? I don't know. Chef Baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said to Joseph, I also was in my dream, and there were 3 white baskets on my head. I think that's the last, yeah, on my head. Also, I think I should be remembering like each person's role within the Bible. Like, I just almost forgot. There was a TikTok I saw of like the people in the Bible, like Noah, the ark, like who else, for example. My point is, someone had said who in the Bible was like related to dreams, and then they said Noah, and I didn't really know. I mean, then they said Joseph. I didn't really know what they meant, but I think I really want to continue reading Genesis and find out like what's Joseph's role in dreams. Okay, interpreted to them. Basket on my head. In the uppermost basket were all kinds of baked goods for Pharaoh, and the birds ate them out of the basket off my head. So Joseph answered and said, this is the interpretation of them. The 3 baskets are 3 days. Within 3 days Pharaoh will lift off your head from you and hang you on a tree, and the birds will eat your flesh from you. Now it came pass on the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast with all his servants, and he lifted up the head of the chief baker and of the chief butler and the chief baker amongst his servants. Then he restored the chief butler to his butlership again, and he placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand. But he hanged the chief baker as Joseph had interpreted. Yet the chief butler did not remember Joseph, but forgot him. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. But forgot him. Okay. Chapter what? Verse 9. Okay, I think that's how I'm going to remember. Verse 9 is where I need to scroll up again. Okay. Pharaoh's dream. Okay, so I'm assuming Joseph is this guy who interprets people's dreams. I've read this before, but I'm trying to realize what his significance like other than just being a person who interprets like dreams is. Okay, but anyway, then it came to pass at the end of 4 years that Pharaoh had a dream, and behold, he stood by the river. Suddenly there came up out of the river 7 cows. Wait, hold on. I'm going to go back. Then it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh had a dream, and behold, he stood by the river. Okay, so this is Pharaoh's dream. Suddenly there came up out of the river 7 cows, fine looking and fat, and they fed in the meadow. Then behold, 7 other cows came up, and after them out of the river, ugly and gaunt, and stood by the other cows on the bank of the river. Okay, and the ugly and gaunt cow ate up the 7 fine looking and fat cows. So Pharaoh awoke. He slept and dreamed a second time, and suddenly 7 heads of grain came up, one stalk, plump and good. Okay. Then grain came up, one stalk, plump and good. Okay. Then behold, 7 thin heads blighted, belighted by the east wind, sprung up after them. And the 7 thin heads devoured the 7 plump and full heads. So Pharaoh awoke, and indeed it was a dream. Now it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all its wise men. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was no one who could interpret them for Pharaoh. Then the chief butler spoke to Pharaoh, saying, I remember my faults this day. Okay. When Pharaoh was angry with his servants and put in the... okay, I need to scroll up. Okay, so 16. Okay. Then the chief butler spoke to Pharaoh, saying, I remember my faults this day, when Pharaoh was angry with his servant and put me in custody in the house of the captain of the guard, both me and the chief baker. We had a dream in one night, he and I. Each of us dreamed according to the interpretation of his own dream. Now this was a young Hebrew man there was a young Hebrew man with us there, a servant of the captain of the guards. And he told him, and he interpreted our dreams for us. To each man he interpreted according to his own dream. And it came to pass just as he interpreted for us, so it happened. He restored me to my office, and he hanged me. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph. Okay. And they brought him quickly out of the dungeon, and he changed his clothes, and came to Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, I had a dream, and there is no one who can interpret it. But I have heard it said of you that you can understand and dream to interpret. But I have heard it is said of you that you can understand a dream to interpret it. So Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not in me. God will give Pharaoh an answer of peace. 16. God will give Pharaoh an answer of peace. 17 to 21. Oh, is it 21, 27? 17 to 27. Okay. Yeah, 17 to 27. Where's 17? Okay. Wait, I need water. Hold on. Okay. Wait. My shoes. Yep, I know, man. I know. It's that ADHD. Okay. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, Behold, in my dream I stood on the bank of the river. Suddenly 7 kings came out of the river, fine looking and fat, and they fed in the meadow. Then behold, 7 other cows came up after them, poor and very ugly and gaunt, such ugliness as I have never seen in all the land of Egypt. Whew. And the gaunt and ugly cows ate up the 7 first 7 the fat cows. When they had eaten them up, no one would have known that they have had. Oh my gosh, bro! I'm trying to read too fast. When they had eaten them up, no one could have known that they had eaten them, for they were just as ugly as at the beginning. So I awoke. Also I saw in my dream, and suddenly 7 heads came up, one stalk, fat and good. Then behold, 7 heads withered, thin and blighted by the east wind, sprang up after them. And the thin heads devoured the 7 good heads. So I told this to the magician. but there was no one who could explain it to me. Then Joseph says to Pharaoh, the dreams of Pharaoh are one. Oh, then Pharaoh said to Joseph, the dreams of Pharaoh are one. God has shown Pharaoh what he is about to do. Okay. The 7 good cows are 7 years, and the seven good cows are 7 years, and the 7 good heads are 7 years. The dreams are one. And the 7 thin and ugly cows which came up after them are 7 years. And the 7 empty heads blighted by the east wind are 7 years of famine. Yeah. Okay. 27, 28, 35. Okay. 28. This is the thing which I have spoken to Pharaoh. God has shown Pharaoh what he is about to do. Indeed, 7 years of great plenty will come, therefore all the land of Egypt, throughout all the land of Egypt. But after them 7 years of famine will arise, and all the plenty will be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine will deplete the land. So the plenty will not be known in the land because of the famine following, for it will be very severe. And the dream was repeated to Pharaoh twice because the thing is established by God. The dream was repeated to Pharaoh twice because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring to pass. Hold on. I just noticed something. I just noticed how Joseph said the dream was repeated twice because it was from God. So I think that's something very interesting for me to take note of, seeing the same type of dream twice. I'm not saying it, it's written here, gang. Okay, but anyway, God will shortly bring it to pass. Now therefore let Pharaoh select a discernment. Wait, what's that? Oh, my phone's low. Okay, wait, hold on, let me plug in the charger. I just closed my Bible. Now I need to find where I was reading. Where am I reading? Not Exodus, bro. Where am I? 41. I mean, yeah, 41, but what? Uh, 29. Where's 29? Oh, okay. 29 to what? 29 to 35. Indeed, 7 years of great plenty will come throughout all the land of Egypt, but after them 7 years of famine will arise, and all the plenty will be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine will deplete the land. So the plenty will not be known in the land because of the famine following it will be very severe. And the dream was repeated to Pharaoh twice because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. Now therefore, let Pharaoh select a discerning and wise man, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land to collect 1/5 of the produce of the land of Egypt in the 7 years, in the 7 plentiful years, and let them gather all the food of their good years that are coming, and store up gain, and under the authority of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. Then that food shall be as a reserve for the land for the 7 years of famine which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land may not perish during the famine. Okay, I read too far. Okay. 38 to what? 38 to 45. Okay. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, Inasmuch as God has shown you all this, there is no one as discerning and wise as you. You shall be over my house, and all my people shall be ruled according to your word. Only in regard to the throne will I be greater than you. Okay? And Pharaoh said to Joseph, see, I have set you over all the land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh took his signet ring of his hand and put it in Joseph's hand, and he clothed him in garments of fine linen and put a gold chain around his neck. And he had him ride in the second chariot which he had. And they cried out before him, bow the knee. So he set him over all the land of Egypt. 43. Okay. Pharaoh also said to Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without your consent to no man may lift his hand or foot in all of the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce that. Zapneth Paneah. And he gave him as a wife Asenat, the daughter of Potipherah, priest of On. Okay. So Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. 52. Okay. 52. So Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt. Now in the 7 plentiful years the ground brought forth abundantly. So he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities. He laid up in every city the food of the fields which surrounded them. Joseph gathered very much grain, as the sand of the sea, until he stopped counting. For it was immeasurable. And to Joseph were born 2 sons before the year of famine came, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potipherah, priest of On, bore to him. Hold on, let me see. Okay, what am I reading to? 52. Okay. Priest of On, bore to him. Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for God has made me forget all my turmoil, all my father's houses. And the name of the second he called. Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for God has made me forget all my turmoil and all my father's house. Okay. And the name of the second he called Ephraim, for God had called me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. Okay, I think I need to continue from there. 5. Okay. Then the 7 years of plenty which were in the land of Egypt ended, and the 7 years of famine began to come. As Joseph had said, the famine was in all land, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread. So when all the land of Egypt was finished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. Then Pharaoh said to all the Egyptians, go to Joseph Whatever he says to you, do. The famine was over all the face of the earth, and Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold to the Egyptians. And the famine began severe in the land of Egypt. So all countries came to Joseph in Egypt to buy grain, because the famine was severe in all lands. Okay. How do I feel about what I just read? I feel like it's not just about Egypt. I feel like, honestly, I feel like there will be a time where, because it feels like God keeps doing these things, but like, it feels like whenever he's about to do them, or whenever he does it, there's always a sign that he's about to do something. Yeah, I think that's the first thing that's just coming to my mind. When Jacob saw that there was grain in Egypt, Jacob said to his sons, "Why do you look at one another?" Jacob is Pharaoh's dad. And Jacob isn't Jacob thingy. Jacob is Ishmael, right? Jacob is Ishmael, and who's Abraham? Abraham is his dad. Okay. And he said, "Indeed, I have heard that there is grain in Egypt. Go down to that place and buy for us there, that we may live and not die." So Joseph's 10 brothers went down to buy grain in Egypt. But Jacob did not send Joseph's brother Benjamin with his brothers, for he said, "Lest some calamity before him." And the sons of Israel went to buy grain among those who journeyed, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. Okay, 5 to 13. Okay. Now Joseph was governed over the land, and it was he who sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brother came and bowed down before him with their faces to the earth. Joseph saw his brothers and recognized them, but he acted as a stranger to them, and deep. But he acted as a stranger to them and spoke roughly to them. Then he said to them, "Where do you come from?" And they said, "From the land of Canaan, to buy food." So Joseph recognized his brothers, but they did not recognize him. Then Joseph remembered the dreams which he had dreamed about them, and said to them, "You are spies. You have come to see the nakedness of the land." And they said to him, "No, my lord, but your servants have come to buy food. We are all one man's son. We are honest men. Your servants are not spies." But he said to them, "No, but you have come to see the nakedness of the land." And they said, "Your servants are 12 brothers, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And in fact, the youngest is with our father today. The one is no more." But Joseph said to them, "It is as I speak to you, saying, you are spies." Oh, you guys can't see. Damn, am I reading that fast? 14 to 22. But Joseph said to them, "It is as I speak to you, saying, you are spies. In this manner you shall be tested. By the life of Pharaoh, you shall not leave this place, unless your youngest brother comes here. Send one of you, and let him bring your brother, and you shall be kept in prison, that your words may be tested, to see whether there is any truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh, surely you are spies." So he put them all together in prison 3 days. Then Joseph said to them the third day, "Do this and live, for I fear God. If you are an honest man, let one of your brothers be confined to your prison house. But what? But you go and carry grain for the famine of your house, and bring your youngest brother to me, so your words will be verified, and you shall not die. And they did so. Then they said to one another, we are truly guilty concerning our brother, for we saw the anguish of his soul when he pleaded with us, and we would not hear. Therefore this distress has come upon us. And Reuben answered them, saying, did I not speak to you, saying, do not sin against the boy? Oh, this is the brother who thingied. And you would not listen. Therefore, behold, his blood is now required of us. Yeah. Deep, deep, deep. Deep, deep, deep. But they did not know that Joseph understood them, for he spoke to them through an interpreter. Okay, wait. 29. Okay. But they did not know Joseph understood them, for he spoke to them through an interpreter. And he turned himself away from them and wept. He returned to them again and talked with them. And he took Simon from them and brought him before their eyes. Then Joseph gave a command to fill their sacks with grain, to restore every man's money to his sack, and to give them provision for the journey. Thus he did for them. So they loaded their donkeys with the grain and departed from there. But as one of them opened his sack to give his donkey feed at the encampment, he saw his money, and there it was in the mouth of his sack. So he said to his brothers, my money has been restored, and there it is in my sack. Then their hearts failed them, and they were afraid, saying to one another, what is this that God has done to us? Then they went to Jacob their father in the land of Canaan, and told him all about that had happened to them, saying, early to 36. Okay. The man who is Lord of the land spoke roughly to us and took us for spies of the country. But we said to him, we are honest men. We are not spies. We are 12 brothers, sons of our father. One is no more, and the youngest is with our father this day in the land of Canaan. But then the land of the country, said to us, By this I will know that you are honest men. Leave one of your brothers here with me. Take food for the famine of your households, and be gone. By this I wait. Then the man, the Lord of the country, said to us, By this I will know that you are honest men. Leave one of your brothers here with me. Take food for the famine of your households, and be gone. Okay. Bring your youngest brother to me, so I should know that you are not spies, but that you are honest men. I will grant your brother to you, and you may trade in the land. Then it happened, as they emptied their sacks, that suddenly each man's bundle of money was in the sack. And when they and their father saw the bundle of money, they were afraid. And Jacob their father said to them, You have bereaved me. Joseph is no more. Wait. Simon is no more. Joseph is no more. Simon is no more. And you want to take Benjamin. All these things are against me. I don't understand, bro. All these things are against me. 37-7. I don't understand. What does he mean? They took Joseph. They took who did they take? Simon. Joseph is no more. Simon is no more. And you want to take Benjamin? I don't get it, bro. Or are they saying Simon is the one who got left behind, and Benjamin is the one they came to take as the fake younger brother? I don't know, man. All these things are against me. Then Reuben spoke to his father, saying, kill my two sons if I do not bring him back to you. Put him in my hands, and I will bring him back to you. Okay. And you want to take Benjamin? Okay. Okay. So Benjamin is the one that they want to return to as the youngest brother. And Reuben is vouching for them. What's up with Reuben and his relationship with Joseph? I feel like Reuben might have an idea that that guy is Joseph. I'll bring him back to you. But he said, my son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If any calamity shall befall him along the way in which you go, then you would bring down my gray hair with sorrow to the grave. Jeez, bro. I don't know, man. I'm still trying to figure out what the purpose of all of this is. But I feel like, so had the brothers not done that, what would have happened to Egypt? Because I mean, imagine if Joseph wasn't in Egypt, then what would have happened? So many people would have died without food. So what is exactly like is the point of this? I don't know, man. But like, is the point that the brothers needed to be jealous, or like, was the jealousy of the brothers from God? I don't know. Yo, gang. I don't know, for real. Okay. Now the famine was severe in the land, and it came to pass when they had eaten up the grain which they had bought from Egypt, that their father said to them, go back. Oh wait. Okay. Now the famine was severe in the land, and it came to pass that they had eaten up the grain which they had bought from Egypt. And their father said to them, go back, buy us a little food. But Judah said to him, saying, the man solely warned us, saying, you shall not see my face unless your brother is with you. If you send our brother with us, we will go down and buy you food. But if we will not send him, we will not go down. For the man said to us, you will surely not see my face unless your brother is with you. And Israel said, why did you deal so wrongfully with me as to tell the man whether you had still another brother? But they said, the man asked us pointedly about ourselves and our family, saying, is your father still alive? Have you another brother? And we told him according to these words. Could we possibly have known that he would say, bring your brother down? 8 till 15. Then Judah said to Israel his father, send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live and not die. Both we and you are also our little ones. I myself will be shorty for him. Surety for him. From my hand you shall require him. If I do not bring him back to you and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever. For if we had not lingered, surely by now we would have returned this second time. True. And their father Israel said to them, if it must be so, then do this. Take some of the best fruits of the land in your vessel, and carry down a present for the man, a little balm and a little honey, spices, and pistachio nuts and almonds. And almonds. Take double money in your hand, and take back in your hand the money that was returned in the mouth of your sacks. Perhaps it was an oversight. Take your brothers also. Oh, okay. So I think Joseph gave back the money to show them that he would give back the brother, but they didn't get it. Okay, but anyway, take double money in your hand, and take back in your hand the money that was returned in the mouth of your sacks. Perhaps it was an oversight. Take your brother also, and arise, go back to the man. And may God Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may release your other brother and Benjamin. Okay, so I was right. So Solomon is the one who they left that side. Ucho Solomon must have been in prison this whole time. Yo, these niggas have no shame. Damn, these niggas have no shame, bro. They left Solomon. Yo, these niggas have no shame. And the dad only realized, like, to give Benjamin now. Okay, anyway. Take your brother also and arise, go back to the man, and may God Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may release your other brother and Benjamin. If I be bereaved, I am bereaved. So the man took that present and Benjamin, and they took double money in their hand, and arose and went to Egypt, and they stood before Joseph. Is that 15? That's 15. Okay, so I'm somewhere here now. 16 to 22. Joseph saw Benjamin with them. He said to the steward of the house, take these men to my home and slaughter an animal, and make ready, for these men will dine with me at noon. Then the man did. Oh yeah, wait, didn't Jacob get another son after Joseph? I think that's Benjamin. I just wasn't Benjamin had another name. His name wasn't Benjamin. He had another name. I just don't remember what the other name was. When Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of his house, take these men to my home and slaughter an animal and make ready, for these men will dine with me at noon. Then the man did as Joseph ordered, and the man brought the man into Joseph's house. Okay. Now the men were afraid, because they had brought into Joseph's house, and they said, it is because of the money which was returned in our sack the first time. They so afraid that we are brought in, so that we may make a case against us and seize us, to take us as slaves with our donkeys. Then they drew near to the stewards of Joseph's house. They talked with him at the door of the house and said, "O sir, we indeed came down the first time to buy food. But it happened when we came to the encampment that we opened our sacks, and there each man's money was in the mouth of his sack, our money in full weight. So we have brought it back in our hand, and we have brought down other money in our hand to buy food. We do not know who put our money in our sack." 23 to 30. But he said, "Peace be with you. Do not be afraid. Your God and the God of our father has given you treasure. Your God and the God of your father has given you treasure in your sack. I had your money. Then he brought Simon out to them. So the man brought the men into Joseph's house and gave them water, and they washed their feet and gave their donkeys feed. Then they made the present ready for Joseph coming at noon, for they heard that they would eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in the hand into the house, and bowed down before him to the earth. 30. Okay. Then he asked them about their well-being and said, "Is your father well? The old man of whom you speak, is he still alive?" And they answered, "Your servant, our father, is in good condition. He is still alive." And they bowed their heads down and prostrated themselves. Then he lifted his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, and said, "Is this your younger brother, of whom you speak to me?" And he said, God be gracious to you. God be gracious to you, my son. Now his heart yearned for his brother, so Joseph made haste and sought somewhere to weep. And he went into his chamber and wept there. 31, 31. Damn, bro, why am I reading so fast? 31 to 30, or 2 to 3, 31 to 3. Then he washed his face and came out, and he restrained himself and said, serve the bread. So they set him a place by himself, and them by themselves, and the Egyptians who ate with him by themselves, because the Egyptians could not eat food with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination to the Egyptians. And they set before him the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men looked in the astonishment at one another. Then he took servings to them from before him, but Benjamin's servings were 5 times as much as any of theirs. So they drank and were merry with him. Okay, this is cool, man. This is starting to become like warm and stuff. And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, fill the men's sacks with fill the men's sack with food, as much as they can carry, and put each man's money in their mouth of his sack. Also put my cup, the silver cup, in the mouth of the sack of the youngest. Also put my cup, the silver cup, in the mouth of the sack of the youngest, and his gain money. So he did according to the word of Joseph had spoken. As soon as the morning dawned, the men were sent away, and they and their donkeys. So these people, like, he just let them leave without knowing that, yo, nigga, I'm your brother? What? Okay, anyway. When they had gone out of the city and were not yet far off, Joseph said to his steward, get up, follow the men, and when you overtake them, say to them, why have you repaid evil for good? Why have you repaid evil for good? Is it not this the one from which my Lord... Wait. Why have you repaid evil for good? I wonder why he would say that. Okay. With which he indeed practiced divination, you have done evil in so doing. Wait, what? Did I just... Is not this the one from which my Lord drinks, and with which he indeed practiced divination? You have done evil in so doing. Ah. Yo. Hey, man. So he overtook them and spoke to them these same words. And they said to him, why does my Lord say these things? Far be it from us that your servants should do such a thing. 11. Such a thing. Look, we brought back to you from the land of Canaan the money which we found in the mouth of the sack. How then could we steal silver or gold from your Lord's house? With whomever... Oh, yo, there's no way Joseph is going to do what I think he's going to do. Look, we brought back to you from the land of the Canaans the money from which we had found in the mouth of our sack. How then could we steal silver or gold from the Lord's house? With whomever of our servants it is found, let him die. With whomever of your servants it is found, let him die, and we also will be and will also and we also will be my Lord's slaves. And he said, now also let it be acknowledged to your words, he with whom it is found shall be my slave, and you shall be blameless. Then each man speedily let down his sack to the ground, and each opened his sack. 11. And each opened his sack. 11 to what? To 19. 11 to 19. And then each man speedily let down his sack to the ground, and each opened his sack. So he searched. He began with the oldest, and he left off with the youngest. And the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. Then they tore their clothes, and each man loaded his donkey and returned to the city. Oh. So Judah and his brothers came to Joseph's house. He was still there, and they fell before him on the ground. And Joseph said to them, what deed is this you have done? Did you not know that such a man as I can surely practice divination? Then Judah said, what should we say to my lord? What shall we speak? Or how shall we clear ourselves? God has found out the iniquity of our servants. Here we are, my lord's slaves, both we and he also with whom the cup was found. But he said, far be it from me that I should do so. The man in whose hand the cup was found, he shall be my slave. And also for you, go up in peace to your father. So that man Benjamin net. Okay. Then Judah came near to him and said, O my lord, please let your servant speak a word in my lord's hearing, and do not let your anger burn against your servant, for you are even like Pharaoh. My lord, Joseph did this. My lord asked his servant, saying, have you a father or a brother? My lord asked his servant, saying, have you a father or a brother? And he said to my lord, we have a father, an old man, and a child of his old age, who is young. His brother is dead, and he alone is left of his mother's children, and his father loves him. Okay, they're telling him about Benjamin. Then you said to your servant, bring him down to me, that I may set my eyes on him. And we said to my lord, let the lad cannot leave his father, for if he should leave his father would die. 19, huh? His father loves him. I'm at 23. No more. But you said to your servants, unless your youngest brother comes down with you, you shall see my face no more. So it was when we went up to your servant, my father, that we told him the words of my lord. 31. Okay. Of my lord. And our father said, go back and buy us a little food. But we said, we cannot go down there. We cannot go down if our youngest brother is with us. Then we will go down, for we may not see the man's face unless our youngest brother is with us. Then your servant, my father, said to us, you know that my wife bore me 2 sons. Okay, bore me 2 sons, and the one went out from me and said, surely he is torn to pieces, and I have not seen him since. But if you take this one also from me, and calamity befalls him, you shall bring down my gray hair with sorrow to the grave. Now therefore, when I came to your servant my father, and the lad is not with us, since his life is bound up in the lad's life, since my lad's life, it will happen when he sees the lad is not with us, that he will die. Wait. It will happen when he sees that the lad is not with us, that he will die. So your servant will bring down the gray hair of your servant our father with sorrow to the grave. 32. For your servant became surety for the lad to my father, saying, if I do not bring him back to you, then I shall bear the blame before my father forever. Now therefore please let your servant remain instead of the lad as a slave to my lord, and let the lad go up with his brothers. For how shall I go to my father if the lad is not with me, lest perhaps I see the evil that would come upon my father. So now he's willing to take the blame for what's happening to Benjamin. But no one was willing to take the blame for what happened to Joseph, except Reuben. Okay, 45. See, this is where I low-key start to feel tired again. But it's just 5 more chapters. Low-key, I don't even want to see where this ends. But I do, because I am getting tired. Okay, this is like 1, 2, 3. 3 more pages, not bad. Okay. Then Joseph could not restrain himself before all. Wait. Something just doesn't feel right. I think I'm too far from the camera. Oh, hey. I don't know, gang. 8. Then Joseph could not restrain himself before all of those who stood by him, and he cried out, make everyone go out from me. No one stood with him while Joseph made himself known to his brothers. Huh? Wait. Then Joseph could not restrain himself before all those who stood by him, and he cried out, make everyone go out from me. No one stood with him while Joseph made himself known to his brothers. Make everyone go out from me. Okay. And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians and the house of Pharaoh heard it. Then Joseph said to his brothers, I am Joseph. Does my father still live? But his brothers could not answer him, for they were dismayed in his presence. And Joseph said to his brothers, please come near to me. So they came near. Then he said, I am Joseph your brother, whom you sold into Egypt. But now do not therefore be grieved or angry with yourselves, because you sold me here, for God sent me before you to preserve life. For those 2 years the famine have been in the land. For these 2 years the famine has been in the land, and there are still 5 in which there will be neither plowing nor harvesting. And God sent me before you to preserve a posterity for you in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So now it was not you who sent me here, but God, and he has made me a father to Pharaoh, and lord of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. I don't know how to feel about that, but yeah, verse 8. Hurry and go to my father and say to him, thus says your son Joseph, God has made me Lord of all Egypt. Come down to me. Do not worry. Do not tarry. Yo, this nigga's asking his dad to come see him. Wow. You shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and you shall be near to me. 17. And you shall be near to me. You shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and you shall be near to me, and your children, your children's children, your flocks and your herds, and all that you have. There I will provide for you, lest you and your household and all that you have come to poverty. For there are still 5 years of famine. And behold, your eyes and the eyes of my brothers Benjamin see that then he fell. See that it is my mouth that speaks to you. So you shall tell my father of all my glory in Egypt, and of all that you have seen, and you shall hurry and bring my father down here. Then he fell on his brother Benjamin's neck and wept, and Benjamin wept on his neck. Moreover, he kissed all his brothers and wept over them. And after that, his brothers talked with him. Now the report of it was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brother have come. So it pleased Pharaoh and his servants well. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, say to your brothers, do this, load your animals and depart, go to land of Canaan. Bring your father and your household and come to me. Okay, you guys can see that. And come to me. I will give you the best of the land of Egypt, and you will eat the fat of the land. Now you are commanded to do this, to take carts out of the land of Egypt for your land, your little ones and your wives. Bring your father and come. Also do not be concerned about your goods, for the best of all the land of Egypt is yours. Then the sons of Israel did so. And Joseph gave them carts according to the command of Pharaoh, and he gave them provision for the journey. He gave to all of them, to each man, changes of garments, but to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of garments. He sent his father these things: 10 donkeys loaded with the good things of Egypt, and 10 female donkeys loaded with grain, bread, and food for his father for the journey. So he sent his brothers away, and they departed. And he said to them, see that you do not become troubled along the way. Okay. Along the way. Then they went out of Egypt and came to the land of Canaan to Jacob their father, and they told him, saying, Joseph is still alive, and he is governor over all of the land of Egypt. And Jacob's heart stood still, because he did not believe them. But when they told him all the words which Joseph had said to them, and when he saw the carts which Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of Jacob their father revived. Then Israel said, it is enough. Joseph my son is still alive. I will go and see him before I die. I don't know how, so this guy is just minimizing the fact that his sons did all that to Joseph. But okay, I guess It's just me and my heart that needs to heal. So Israel took his journey with all that he had and came to Beersheba and offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac. Then God spoke to Isaac in the visions of the night and said, Jacob, Jacob. And he said, Here I am. So he said, I am God, the God of your father. Do not fear to go down to Egypt, for I will make you a great nation there. Wait, who's saying this to who? Then God spoke to Israel in the vision of the night and said, Jacob, Jacob. And he said, Here I am. So he said, I am God, the God of your father Abraham. Do not fear to go down to Egypt, for I will make of you a great nation there. I will go down with you to Egypt, and I will also surely bring you up again, and Joseph will put his hands on your eyes. Then Jacob arose from Beersheba, and the sons of Israel carried their father Jacob, their little ones and their wives, in the carts which Pharaoh had sent to carry him. 8. Okay, to carry him. So they took their livestock and their goods which they had acquired in the land of Canaan and went to Egypt. Jacob and all his descendants with him, his sons and his sons' sons, his daughters and his sons' daughters, and all his descendants he brought with him to Egypt. Now these were the names of the children. Okay, here we go again. Now these were the names of his children. Okay, aged 17. Of Israel, Jacob and his sons who went to Egypt. Reuben was Jacob's firstborn son. Then the sons of Reuben were Hanok, Palu, Heron, and Carmi. Okay, the sons of Simon were Jumu. Wait, hold on. The sons of Simon were Jumu, Jamin, Ohad, Zasin, Zuar, and Shaul, the son of Canaanite woman. The son of Levi were Gershom, Kuhath, and Merari. The sons of Judah were Ir, Unan, Shelah, Perez, and Ziar. But Ir and Una died in the land of Canaan. The sons of Perez were Herzon, and Hamu. The sons of Issachar were Tu, Purva, Jub, and Shimarun. The sons of Zebulun were Serid, Elon, and Jalil. These were the sons of Leah, whom she bore to Jacob in Padan Aram with his daughter Dinah. All the persons, his sons and his daughters, were 33. Okay. The sons of Gad were Ziphon, Haji, Shun, Isban, Iri, Arudi, and Ereli. Okay. 17. 17. The sons of Ashur were Jimna, Ishua, Isui, Beria, and Sarah, the sister. And the sons of Beria were Heber and Malsiel. These were the sons of Silpah, whom Laban gave to Leah his daughter, and these she bore to Jacob. 16 persons. 16 persons. The sons of the sons of Rachel, Jacob's wives, were Joseph and Benjamin. I remember Rachel. Didn't Rachel die? Yeah, Rachel died while giving birth to Benjamin, right? Okay. And to Joseph in the land of Egypt were born Manasseh and Ephraim, whom Liam is the oldest sister. Whom Asenat, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bore to him. The sons of Benjamin were Bela, Periah, Ashbel, Gira, Naaman, Iya, Rush, Mupim, Hupim, and Ard. These were the sons of Rachel, who were born to Jacob. 14 persons in all. 14 including the servant, right? The son of Dan was Hushim. The son of Naphtali was Jaziel, Guni, Jezer, and Shilim. These were the sons of Bela, whom Laban gave to Rachel his daughter. Okay, she bore these to Jacob, 7 persons in all. All the person who went with Jacob to Egypt, who came from his body, besides Jacob's sons' wives, were 76 persons in all. Oh my gosh, bro. In all. And the sons of Joseph were born to him in Egypt were 2 persons. All the person of the house of Jacob who went to Egypt were 70. Damn. Okay. Okay. 28. Then he sent Judah before him to Joseph to point out before him the way to go Goshen, and they came to the land of Goshen. So Joseph made ready his chariot and went up to Goshen to meet his father Israel, and he presented himself to him, and fell on his neck, and wept on his neck a good while. And Israel said to Joseph, "Now let me die, since I have seen your voice, because you are still alive." Then Joseph said to his brothers and to his father's household, "I will go up and tell Pharaoh and say to him, my brothers and those of my father's house who were in the land of Canaan have come to me, and the men are shepherds, for their occupation have been to feed livestock, and they have brought their flock, their herds, and all that they have. So it shall be when Pharaoh calls you and says, 'What's your occupation?' that you shall say, 'Your servants' occupations have been livestock from our youth even till now. But we and also our fathers, that you may dwell in the land of Goshen. For every shepherd is an abomination to the Egyptian." Okay, to the Egyptian. Okay, I think I read too far. Okay, 47. Damn, that guy had like 70. That guy had like a family of 70. Yo, I'm never judging my girl's family ever again. Family of 70 soldiers. Oh, that's why this last part of this water always tastes funny. It's because of the ice cubes. Okay, yo, my back is killing me, gang. I need a 2-minute break, bro. Yo, I'm tired. Should I leak? I ain't trying to leak, bro. So let me not do that. Let me really not do that. Jokes aside. Isn't that too big? Hey man, I don't necessarily give a bunch. Okay. I'm so tired. No, I want to finish this though. I want to finish it. I've been telling myself I'm going to finish it. I'm going to finish this. Okay. Then Joseph went and told Pharaoh and said, "My father and my brothers, their flock and their herd, and all they possess have come from the land of Canaan, and indeed they are in the land of Goshen." But he took 5 men from among his brothers and presented them to Pharaoh. Then Pharaoh said to his brothers, "What is your occupation?" And they said to Pharaoh, "Your servants are shepherds, and both we and all our fathers. And they said to Pharaoh, "We have come to dwell in the land, because your servant have no pasture for their flock, for the famine is severe in the land of Canaan. Now, therefore, please let your servants dwell in the land of Goshen." Then Pharaoh spoke to Joseph, saying, "Your father and your brothers have come to you. The land of Egypt is before you. Have your father and brothers dwell in the best of the land. Let them dwell in the land of Goshen. But if you know any competent men among them, then make them herdsmen over my livestock." Okay, chief herdsmen over my livestock. Then Joseph brought in his father Jacob and set him before Pharaoh, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh. Okay, verse 8. Okay, verse 8. Pharaoh said to Jacob, "How old are you?" And Jacob said to Pharaoh, "The days of the days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Few and evil have been the days of the year. Sorry, that really. Few and evil have been the days of the years of my life, and they have not attained to the days of the years of the life of why so many of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. So Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh, and Joseph situated his father and his brothers and gave them possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramses, as Pharaoh had commanded. Then Joseph provided his father, his brother, and all his brothers' households with bread, according to the number in their families. Okay, 13, 14. Now there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very severe, so that the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan languished because of the famine. And Joseph gathered all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the grain which they brought, and Joseph brought the money into Joseph's house. Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. Okay. 20. Okay. So when the money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came to Joseph and said, "Give us bread, for why should we die in your presence? For the money has failed." Then Joseph said, Give your livestock, and I will give you bread for your livestock. If the money is gone. If the money is gone. So they brought their livestock to Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for the horses, the flocks, the cattle of the herds, and for the donkeys. Thus he fed them with bread in exchange for all their livestock that year. So wait. I just want to clarify if I'm missing something. I think they're basically saying at this point money kind of became like it lost its value, so they had to trade like for actual things, right? Which they traded livestock for what is this thing called? Man, Kaucho and a life science person. Lokonja man, Isonka. C word, it starts with C. I just forgot what it is. Okay. Thus he fed them with bread in exchange for their livestock that year. When that year had ended, they came to him. When the year had ended, they came to him, said to him, "We will not hide from my lord that our money is gone. My lord also has our herd of livestock. Therefore, there is nothing left in the sight of my lord but our bodies and our lands." Wait, who's speaking here? So they brought their livestock to Joseph, and Joseph gave them okay, I think it's his brothers that are talking to Joseph. "Why should we die before your eyes? Both we and our land. Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants of Pharaoh. Give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land may not be desolate." Okay, wait. I feel like I shouldn't miss what these guys are saying right now. So now these guys are even willing to sell themselves as slaves just so they can have bread. But what's the point of that? I wonder what's the point of like it seems so deep. And I think I'm really missing it, but yeah. Okay. Then Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh. For every man of the Egyptians sold his field because the famine was severe upon them. So the land became Pharaoh's. Okay, so the Hebrews sold themselves to the Egyptians. Okay, 28. Then Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for okay. And as for the people, he moved them into the cities, from one end of the borders of Egypt to the other end. Only the land of the priests he did not buy. Only the land of the priests he did not buy, for the priests had rations. I don't know what that. Ration. Bro, my English is leaving me. I'm tired. Alluded to them by Pharaoh, and they ate their rations. I think it's rations because nations, right? Nations, rations. How is it rations though? Yo, how do you pronounce this word, gang? Okay. Which Pharaoh gave them. Therefore they did not sell their land. Then Joseph said to the people, "Indeed, I have bought you and your land this day for Pharaoh. Look, here is seed for you, and you shall sow the land. And it shall come to pass in the harvest that you shall give 1/5 to Pharaoh." Okay, 4/5 shall be your own, as seed for the field, and for your food, for those of your households, and as food for your little ones. So they said, "You have saved our lives. Let us find favor in the sight of my Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants." And Joseph made it a law over the land of Egypt to this day, that Pharaoh shall have 1/5, except for the land of the priests, which did not become Pharaoh's. Okay. 28, yeah. So Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Cushan, and they had possessions there, and grew and multiplied exceedingly. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 70 years. Yo, 70. Wasn't he 130 when he got there? So at this point, he's like 200. But wait, how long did the famine last? Because it wasn't supposed to be 7 years. Okay, Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 70 years. So the length of Jacob's life was 140 years. What? 147, huh? 147 years. Yo, hey, the math is not mathing. Yeah, it's me. It's not the Bible, bro. It's me. Okay, 29. When the time drew near that Israel must die, he called his son Joseph and said to them, "Now I have found favor in your sight. Please put your hand under my thigh and deal kindly and truly with me. Please do not bury me in Egypt. Please do not bury me in Egypt, but let me lie with my fathers. You shall carry me out of Egypt and bury me in their burial places." And he said, "I will do as you have said." And then he said, "Swear to me and be swore to him." So Israel bowed himself on the head of the bed. Now it came to pass after these things that Joseph was told, "Indeed, your father is sick," and he took with him his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And Jacob was told, "Look, your son Jacob." And Jacob was told, "Look, your son Jacob." And Jacob was told, "Look, your son Joseph is coming to you." And Israel strengthened himself and stood up to the bed. Then Jacob said to Joseph, "God Almighty appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and blessed me, and said to me, Behold, I will make you fruitful and multiply you, and I will make of you a multitude of people. Give this land to your descendants after you as an everlasting possession. And now your 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, who were born to you in the land of Egypt, before I came to you in Egypt, are mine. As Reuben and Simon, they shall be mine." Okay, 5. They shall be mine. 6 to 13. Okay, your offspring whom you begot after them shall be yours. They will be created by the name of the father of the brothers in their inheritance. But as for me, when I come from Paddan, Rachel died besides me in the land of Canaan, on the way where there was but a little distance to go to Ephrath, and I buried her there, on the way to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. Then Israel saw Joseph's son and said, "Who are these?" And Joseph said to his father, "They are my sons, whom God had given me in this place." And he said, "Please bring them to me, and I will bless them." Wait. Oh, so this is Jacob blessing. Okay. Now the eyes of Israel were dim with age, so that he could not see. Then Joseph brought them near, and he kissed them and embraced them. 13. And Israel said to Joseph, "I had not thought to see your face, not thought to see your face, but in fact God has also shown me your offspring. So Joseph brought them from beside his knee, and he bowed them. He bowed down with his face to the earth. And Joseph took both. Where am I reading? Oh. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim with his right hand towards Israel's left hand, and Manasseh with his left hand down, with his left hand toward Israel's right hand. Brought them near him. Brought them near him. Then Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it on Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand on Manasseh's head, guiding his hands knowingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. And he blessed Joseph and said, God, and he blessed Joseph, and said, God, before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac walked. Isaac. Kanu Isaac. Wait. Isaac. Isaac wasn't. Right. God, before me whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac walked. I don't remember who's Isaac, but I remember Abraham. The God who has fed me all my life long to this day, and the angel who has redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, let my name be named upon them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. Now, 20. Now, when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand on the head of Ephraim, and it displeased him, so he took hold of his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head to Manasseh's head. I don't get it. And Joseph said to his father, Not so, my father, for this one is the firstborn. Put your right hand on his head. But his father refused and said, I know, my son. I know, my son. He also shall become a people. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he. And his descendants shall become a multitude of nations. So he blessed them that day, saying, By you Israel will bless, saying, May God make you as Ephraim and Manasseh. And thus he said Ephraim before Manasseh. Okay. Then Then Israel said to Joseph, Behold, I am dying, but God will be with you and bring you back to the land of your father. Moreover, I have given to you one portion above your brothers, which I take from the hand of Amorite with my sword and my bow. Okay. Yo, this whole thing, like with what you call blessings, is such a big deal, bro. Like, can't niggas just live their lives, bro? Like, why does everything have to be a blessing? Okay, but anyway, yeah. Yo, I'm exhausted, man. But I have like 2 more chapters to read, so I can definitely do this. Oh, it's just 1 page. I can do this. Okay. And Jacob called his sons and said, Gather together, I may tell you, gather together that I may tell you what shall befall you in the last days. Gather together and hear, your sons of Jacob, and listen to Israel your father. Okay. And Jacob called his sons and said, gather together, I may tell you what shall befall you in the last days. Okay, this is Jacob talking to his sons. Gather together and hear, your sons and hear, you sons of Jacob. Oh, Jacob, yeah. Gather together and it will tell you for you the last days. Gather together and hear, you sons of Jacob, and listen to Israel your father. Reuben, you are my firstborn. Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might and the beginning of my strength, the excellence of my dignity and the excellence of power. Okay. Unstable as water, you shall not excel. Unstable as water, you shall not excel, because you went up to your father's bed, then you defiled it. How did he do that? I don't know. He went up to my couch. He went up to my couch. Simon and Levi are brothers. Instruments of cruelty are in their dwelling place. Let not my soul enter either their council. Let not my honor be united to their assembly. For in their anger they slew a man. They slew a man. In their self-will they hamstrung an ox. Cursed be the anger, for it is fierce, and their wrath, for it is cruel. I will divide them in Jacob. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. Okay? Judah, you are he whom your brothers shall praise. Your hand shall be on the sack of your enemies. Your father's children shall bow down before you. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, you have gone up. He bows down. He lies down as a lion, and as a lion, who shall rouse him? Okay. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh comes, and to him shall be the obedience of the people. Binding his donkeys to the vine, and his donkeys colt to the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. Yeah, I will admit, I don't know what has just been said, bro. I have no idea what has just been said. Huh? Binding his donkeys to the vine. Binding his donkeys to the vine. And his donkeys colt to the choice vine. Yeah. Binding his donkey to the vine. Binding his donkey to the vine. And his donkeys colt. What's colt, bro? And his donkeys colt to the choice vine. What if he washed his garments in wine, okay, and his clothes in the blood of grapes? Or is he talking about something Judah did? Okay, his eyes are darker than wine. His eyes are darker than wine. His eyes are darker than wine. I think it's referring to the eye. Yeah, his eyes are darker than wine. And his teeth whiter than milk. So he's seen a lot, but he hasn't. Okay. Zebulun shall dwell by the haven of the sea. He shall become a haven for ships, and his border shall adjoin Sidon. Okay, I guess Zebulun is another son. Issachar is a strong donkey, lying down between two burdens. He saw that rest was good, and that the land was pleasant. He bowed his shoulders to bear burden, and became a band of slaves. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, a viper by the path, that bites the horse's heel. He shall be the way, a serpent. Dan shall be a serpent by the way. Okay. A viper by the path. That bites the horse's heel, so that its rider shall fall backwards. I have waited for your salvation, O Lord. Bro, these thingies, these words that Jacob is putting on his sons, bro. Yeah, this is definitely something I need to go through again and read again, because I really don't want to lie, bro. As much as I was in a rush to read and finish this, but this has just caught me off guard. Gad, a troop shall tramp upon him, but he shall triumph at last. Yeah, where are these words coming from? Hey man, Joseph, man, Jacob. Bread from Asher shall be rich, and he shall yield royal dainties. Okay. Naphtali is a deer let loose. He uses beautiful words. Okay. Joseph is a fruitful board. Okay. A fruitful board by a well. His branches run under the well. The arches have bitterly grieved him. The bitterly grieved him. Shot at him and hated him. The arches have bitterly grieved him. Shot at him and hated him. But his bow remained in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong. Okay, the arms of his hands, but his bow remained in strength, and the arms of his hand were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. Okay. So it's basically saying Joseph Vele was supposed to prosper regardless of what happened to Joseph, but people hated him and he was just made strong by God. Okay, but okay. By the way, by the God of your father who will help you. Okay. And by the Almighty who will bless you with blessings of heaven. Hold on. Yo, I even forgot to scroll up. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I've 22. And by the Almighty who will bless you with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lies beneath, blessings of the breasts and of the womb. The blessings of your father have excelled the blessings of my ancestors, upon to the utmost bond of the everlasting. Blessings of your father have excelled the blessings of my ancestors, Okay. Upon the utmost bound of everlasting hills, they shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown, of the head of him who was separate from his brothers. Benjamin is a ravenous wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is what their father spoke to them. And he blessed them. He blessed every one according to his own blessing. Okay. Oh wait, I didn't read Benjamin. Benjamin is a ravenous wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. Oh, okay. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is what their father spoke to them, and he blessed them. He blessed each and every one according to his own blessing. 29. 29. Then he charged them. Then he charged them and said to them, I am to be gathered to my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Ephron and Hittit. In the cave that is in the field of Meralaf, which is before Mamre, in the land of the Canaan. Mamre has another name. What is the other name of Mamre? I forgot what it is, but Mamre has another name. In the land of Canaan, which Abram brought with the field of Ephron, the Hittite, and possession for a burial place. There they buried Abraham and Sarah with his wife. There they buried Isaac and Rebekah. Isaac and Rebekah. Remember who was this Isaac person, bro? Yo, I don't remember who this Isaac person was, but this Isaac person was important for something. His wife, and there I buried Leah. The field and the cave that is there were purchased from the sons of Heth. Okay, and when Jacob had finished commanding his sons, he drew his feet up into the bed and breathed his last, and was gathered to his people. Yo, R.I.P. Jacob, bro. Okay. Then Joseph fell on his father's side, and wept over him and kissed him. And Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father. So the physicians embalmed Israel. 40 days were required for him, for such are the days required for those who are embalmed. And the Egyptians mourned for him 70 days. Oh yeah, there were 70 children. Now when the days of his mourning were past, Joseph spoke to the household of Pharaoh, saying, If now I have found favor in your eyes, please speak in the hearing of Pharaoh, saying, My father made me swear, saying, Behold, I am lying in my grave, which I dug for myself in the land of Canaan. There you shall bury me. Now, therefore, please let me go up and bury my father, and I will come back. And Pharaoh said, Go up and bury your father, as he made you swear. So Joseph went up to bury his father, and with him went up all the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his family, and all the elders of the land of Egypt, as well as all the house of Joseph, his brothers, and his father's house. Only their little ones, their livestock, their flocks, and their herds they left in the land of Goshen. Death of Joseph? Yeah. Wait, that just shocked me. Okay. And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen, and it was a very great gathering. Then they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond the Jordan, and they mourned there with a great and very solemn illumination. He observed 7 days of mourning for his father. And when the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning at the threshing floor of Atad, they said, "This is a deep mourning of the Egyptians. This is a deep mourning of the Egyptians." Therefore, its name was called Abel Mizraim, which is beyond the Jordan. 12, 15, okay. So his sons did for him just as he had commanded for them. For his sons carried him to the land of Canaan and buried him in the cave of the field of Melepeth before Merman, which Abraham bought with field from Ephron the Hittite as property for a burial place. And after he had buried his father, Joseph returned to Egypt, he and his brothers and all who went up with him to bury his father. 15 to something. Okay. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, "Perhaps Joseph will hate us and may actually repay us for all the evil which we did to him." So they sent messengers to Joseph, saying, "Before your father died, he commanded, saying, 'Thus you shall say to Joseph, I beg you, please forgive the treasons of your brothers and their sins, for they did evil to you. Now please forgive the trespasses please forgive the trespasses of the servants of God, the servants of the God of your father." And Joseph wept when they spoke to him. When his brothers also went and fell down before his face, they said, "Behold, we are your servants." Joseph said to them, "Do not be afraid, for I am in the place of God." Joseph said to them, "Do not be afraid, for I am in the place of God. But as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, and in order to bring it about as it is this day, to save many people alive." Okay. Okay, I know I needed to read that. That I know I needed to read. I'm gonna read it again. But for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, in order to bring it about as it is this day, save many people. But as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, in order to bring it about as it is this day, to save many people alive. Now therefore do not be afraid, I will not provide for you and your little ones. And he comforted them and spoke kindly to them. So Joseph dwelt in Egypt, he and his father's household, and Joseph lived 110 years. So Joseph dwelt in Egypt. So he went back to, dwelt in Egypt and his father's household. And Joseph lived 110 years. Joseph saw Ephraim's children to 30 generations. To 3 generations, my bad. Joseph saw Ephraim's children, his son, to 3 generations. The children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, were also brought up on Joseph's knee. And Joseph said to his brethren, I am dying, but God will surely visit you, bring you out of this land to the land of which he swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Then Joseph took an oath from the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and you shall carry up my bones from here. So Joseph died, being 110 years, and they embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt. Okay. How do I feel about reading Genesis, bro? Like, real talk. I feel like there's purpose in putting this last, like how after each person died, they left their will in the world. They blessed like the next coming generation. So I don't really very interesting. Very interesting. Other than that, I think Genesis is a very interesting book. And does it really add anything to what I would have known about Exodus? I wonder. Because now I'm just thinking, see, this is why I want to read Exodus again. But am I going to read Exodus again? I don't know. But I really want to. I think if I do, I'm just going to make haste, But I like what I just read. And I definitely think I'm going to read it again, because there's a lot of things that I missed and some I just skipped. But there's a lot more that I actually gained. I feel like I know a lot more about Genesis now than I did before. I want to read Leviticus now, bro. I want to read Leviticus. So I don't know if I'm going to continue and go back to Genesis, because I really want to read Leviticus. Yo, I've been live for 2 hours. Damn. Okay, anyway. Let me just leave it at that. So, I don't think I'm going to be coming back on live and reading anything else soon. This was just to like push me to finish Genesis, because I've been meaning to finish Genesis. And I'm glad I finally did. But I'm going to read it again because, yo, bro. See that part where Jacob was blessing his children? That part was really deep. But also there's a part I need to talk to someone about there. I'm gonna talk to her about it. And then, okay, anyway, man, green apples, y'all. Sorry, continue. Have you thought of converting to Islam? Law, fake religion, garbage by Mobius. Yo, Mobius, what up? Have I thought about converting to Islam? There was a time I was very interested in reading like the Quran and stuff, but I guess not. Yo, the fake religion is crazy, bro. Yo, Mobius, thank you for tapping in, bro. Literally exhausted right now, so I'm gonna dip.